Hi everybody, good afternoon. I'm doing some rooms. I want to finish the rooms I didn't do before, video for them. I'm trying to do this one, Junior Penetration Tester, this couple of room. I'm doing today IDOR, learn how to find and exploit IDOR vulnerabilities in web application, giving you access to data that you shouldn't have. Sorry guys, my voice is like a flu. So this is a premium room. What is IDOR? Of course, IDOR usually when you it's better with the practice. We check IDOR now when we practice it. We're going to learn about IDOR vulnerability is what they look like, how to find them, and practical task exploiting a real case scenario. IDOR stands for Insecure Direct Object and Reference and is a type of access control vulnerability. This type of empty can occur when a web server receives a user supplied input to retrieve object, file, data, document, something like that. Too much trust has been placed on the input data and this is not validated on server side. Uh, with the example we understand what is IDOR, so let's not too much confuse yourself here. This type of things, for example, see what it stands for, we can do that. Now if we do this example, you will understand what IDOR, for example. Sorry. So imagine you are just signed up for an online service and you want to change your profile information. The link you click on goes http online-service.thn TryHackMe profile exclamation mark user. That's exactly when IDOR. Whenever you do room and you see something like that, even if sometimes you think like page equal index.html or things like that, wherever you see a variable equals something, doesn't need to be a number or anything. Whenever you see something equals something, there's a high chance you have an IDOR, and you can have even LFI in these things. Curiosity gets a bit of you and you try to change it. That's exactly what I mean. Can I change this? A user ID value, and if we change it, then we do. For example, if we go with this, sorry guys. For example, it said to us, check through the email below and try and identify an URL that looks like it could potentially be vulnerable to an IDOR attack. For example, if you go this, we said order shipped. Your order number 1234 has been shipped. Remember, your next order from this link will get you 10%. Like you can see, the link doesn't have what we're looking for. We don't have something equals something. If we go to the next one, yeah, this one you can say uh, because yeah, that's another thing. It doesn't mean always something equals something. It's like when you see something like that, you have order, then you have something there. The question is anything that you can change in URL that somehow reflected to you, like your order is 1234. So here the possible two of IDOR. Let's check the other one. Here not really, because you can see you have a random character. When you get random character, you usually just go to cyber. This site is good to have if you just start security. Cyber chef is good to have it. For example, if I see random number like that and I don't know what exactly it stands for, possibly some kind of knock, for example, it doesn't give me, so that's just a random. It's not like anything that we can think about it to decode it. Saturday night, just wonder if you are still playing poker this weekend, let me know. No, so this one is more because we have a number here that we can change, and it is now you can view your order confirmation which contain your details. So, and then they tell you your order 1234. So basically I think, okay, this is numbers, and if I want to change that, and this room they tell us, for example, if I go to 1000, and so basically IDOR, wherever you can see something you can change, like either something equals something, index equals something like an LFI, or anything that you can control, like here you can play with it and see what you can get. Now if I don't, if, let's say we're done with this, then what's this? Finding IDORs in encoded ID. Remember when we talk about this? Because sometimes for example, an application do an encode like that and then get decoded like that. So and they tell us go to base 64 website. It's better to remember this one. You will use it a lot in your career. So this base 64 encode, just forget about it. At least my advice, because this one Chef will give you too many things you can do. Uh, for example, if we look, for example, what's this one? EYJP, small p, ZCI 6MZ B9 B9, and you can see it detected automatic here, and it tells you it's ID 13. So it means if you see a random number like that, don't jump and say I can change them. You can go and check the encoding. For example, in this case is base 64. It can be MD5. It can be too many things. What is a common? Yeah, a common base 64 is very common that developer use. Sorry guys for the voice. Yeah, I'll try to do all of them, I think. Then hashed ID. Hashed ID are a little bit more complicated to deal with than encoded one, but they for this is better use this one, crack station. We always use this one to solve rooms when we deal with MD5 and things like that. For example, you come there, you just do that, you copy it there, and it tell you, for example, want this site is good to have, so this site and this site are good ones to have. Usually, yeah, most one use this MD5 because it's fast to decrypt or something, so people they use it. So if you see random numbers, like for example, when we did an IDOR here, you can see just a normal 13505. It can be this. For example, you see this long number and you think it's random, but it's not random. It's an MD5. So basically, yeah. So you need to be careful there. Then finding IDOR in unpredictable ID, and there is a task later on, a practical IDOR example. We can see that if the ID can't be detected using above method, an excellent method of IDOR detection is to create two accounts and swap ID number between them. If you can view the other user content using their ID number while still being logged in with a different account or not logged at all, you'll find a valid. Yeah, this one. Yeah, what is the minimum number of account you need to create to check for IDOR between account? We're not doing lab this one because this one is more introduction room. This one is genius, so we're not going to fancy stuff for this. Um, Now, next one, where are they located? The variable endpoint you're targeting may not always be something you see in address bar. As you said, we used to see this address bar like this. Sometimes you don't see that, and that's why the practical example we'll have now. Sometimes it's via Ajax, it will be loaded inside the code. Sometimes endpoint could have a reference parameter that may have been for some use during development and got pushed to production. For example, you may notice a call to use a detailed display in your user information authenticate through your session. But through an attack known as parameter mining, you discover parameter, for example, call ID. To understand this, let's go to the example because that's I didn't start the machine. I did start the machine. Let's see. Sorry, guys, my voice. So, for example, now you have this. When you are in rooms like that, one thing you must make a habit. Make habit when you solve CTS CTFs is to go to network and always not leave it open. Why my network look funny? Why man? What the hell? Oh, they don't need to see this one. I don't need to see how to close this thing. I usually use Firefox anything. Let's so we have an application wherever you have a CTF like that. So usually what you do, of course, you can see customer, you have this, you can go, oh, let me create an account. For example, you just start like that at local.com, password J123, and sign up. Let's see what it called. Nothing special. It called sign up. That's fine. Let's accept that. So if I go to my account there, yeah, whatever you do, you always leave this one open for you. Where's that thing? Let's switch the I'm using for this console. I don't like this. Okay, let's do it like that. So if we do support ticket, for example, we have ticket there, your account. You can see here what happened. You have customer ID 50. So here what exactly what it said this room. If you remember when we switch here, it said where it's located. Sometimes it doesn't, because if you look in this room, if you look in the top, it just say customers account. So we don't have. You say where is my IDOR, for example here. That's why I say whenever you do a room, always open this so you know what exactly is calling. So we know this one is not interested for us. This one, for example, is interested. We can see this URL. So if I open this, you can see it as a ID50 username, email. So we found our IDOR, and then you can play there. For example, if ID1, let's see what the question. Oops, too much. Zoom in. So if we go now to our practice and it tells us, for example, we go there and you see, for example, we start by investigating how this information get pre-filled. If you open the browser, that's exactly what we've been doing here, because the way this application work, it call this this endpoint. That's the URL that it called. Because for you, to understand why it show my name and my email, where it get it from. Of course, sometimes it doesn't look like that. This is like a poorly written application, but in reality, maybe if it's PHP or something, you read data from database, it will not get called like that. It will call by your sessions. Mean if username is login, username equal, query the database and get the information. Not like this. This is just an example how to get an IDOR. For example, I said for IDs 1, ID go 3, what is username, what's in the email. Then of course now we got them here. You can get them here. For example, you can say I'm not usually use Chrome. I just use it today for Firefox has that. You can't. Okay, we can just play with it here. So we have a username for one. So usually use one. And then email for IDOR 3. Of course, now if I go to IDOR 3 and I get one, there is more advanced rooms in TryHackMe organized in IDOR, because for example when you find an IDOR with for example you can get a room, you know for example this, but you don't know which one you have. You don't guess run all of them. For example, sometimes you're looking for information, then what you do, you'll use FAF to check all of these numbers automatic. Now this one you can use them manually, you can play around it manually, something like that. But sometimes in certain room in CTF you need to use FAF to run all these numbers to see which one is the available one. Because for example, if you imagine, for example, if I say now error can't find user, imagine like there is a user like exists but we don't know, like a 20,000 something, you don't test all of them. So in this case use FAF. I think next room maybe we can play with it. You can use this one to enumerate through all these numbers and find the correct one. But for now you just start, that's fine. I hope what's this one? What really? Get request ID 50. You attempted to access user data using an ID parameter, but it seems you didn't fully explore the IDOR vulnerability by testing other user ID. The objective is to retrieve other user data by changing the ID parameter. What's wrong with you? I was playing with the number, I mustn't. One and three. Oh, you don't. This IA is stupid. So what's your problem? I can't do 150. It's not like. Continue the episode, test other user ID to see what data can be accessed. Going forward, try. So what we've been doing? What's a bit? Yeah, API v1 customer ID. Is confusing people here. We're not using Web Suite. Let's not complicate this. This one is an easy. What? Continue. Okay. Okay, guys. I hope you like it. This is my I think my first. I didn't do these videos for Junior. I'll try to do all of them. I hope you like them. Thank you very much and have a good day.